What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and CreateSpace. A link will be in the description box below as usual. Go get it. PayPal information in the link below also. They asked me to put it in there. I put it in there. This video is entitled What Happened to the American Dream? All of the ideologies that were synonymous with, America is the land of opportunity. If you work hard and you're diligent, you can be successful. Well, as a black man, that ideology is understandable, but it's really catered to everybody who's not a black American. And I say that to say this. Capitalism happened to the American dream because if you can outsource the American dream for your own economic gain, you can also widen the wealth gap. So people never took into consideration that if you can steal a country and steal people's ingenuity and steal the fruits of other people's labor, then and you can also steal the American dream. And what you're seeing is a country in flux because it's turning upside down because everybody else American dream is getting robbed like ours got robbed. And now people are positioning themselves for the fallout. So the same conversation that was taken years ago when it came to the ecosystem. It's like, when the older generation was like, man, we should do something to fix, the ozone layer and this, because we've in these attempts to gain wealth and riches, we're destroying the planet. And what did you hear the older people say? Well, I'll be dead when it happens. So they didn't care. So just put that argument into the idea of the American dream. As long as they're getting the American dream, when the fallout occurs, they'll be dead. So now you see kind of like that Fight Club scene with Brad Pitt when he was talking about we thought we can all be rock stars and we can be rich and we can be famous and it was, we can all have it all. And then we woke up from that dream and now we're very, very pissed. So this is the ideology. Because people make all of these judgments and assessments, like, oh man, because America is doing better than the vast majority of the world, right? Pretty much everybody. Like, I think when we talk about China coming up, it's not China as a nation. It's a certain demographic of China, like Hong Kong-ish China. Not the whole country. But they have the ability to get to be the whole country. That's just gonna happen in time. But that's the problem. Now because the American dream was outsourced to the point where people who came into America were turned off by the American dream, and it lost its luster for the people who were up close and personal. People abroad, they still may have it, but the people who came here or who live here or who have left here, they don't look at the American dream as a person longing to come here. So, because people can come to America, make their money, and go back to their homes and live like kings. So that seems like a better dream, you know. Also, capitalism overpriced the American dream. You see, when you keep raising the cost of living, you also raise the cost of the American dream. And one of the obvious things that's going on is, and I like to see it now, that ultimately America is building a society that's unaffordable for the vast majority of the people in America. So at some point, you know, this McMansion, you know, Mick upper class culture is gonna fall hard, because you can't keep building all of this luxury for a country that's trillions of dollars in debt. You can't have luxury living and trillions of dollars in debt and owe other countries. That doesn't equate. You don't have enough. We don't have enough. We don't have enough upper class for the luxury that's being built, and we don't have enough middle class to work to afford the luxury that's being built. And you add that, you know, to the with automation, and people who, and a lot of us will have issues as far as maintaining like one job that pays. People probably have to have multiple jobs, you know, maybe a decent wage job and a minimum wage job just to make ends meet, which we in the black community have been doing for a very long time. So what's happening to the American dream? Because now, you know, we're becoming wage and debt slaves. So now what? Because people are disillusioned by the dream. Taking into consideration that half of the white population will be dead in the next 10, 20 years. I mean, if that, you know, because the way they do numbers in this country, the way they do it, if you've noticed, with every calculation when it comes to population, they gave a year and they overshot that number. So if, say, this is going to happen in 2050, now it's going to happen in 2022. So the number I just put out, about half of the population dying in 10 to 20 years, that might happen in 5. You know, so and that will change a lot of things dramatically, because in some degree maybe they are building all this luxury because of the imminent death of you know, half of the white population, because that also means you don't have to pay those people. So, you know, maybe that's another reason, a nefarious reason, why they wanted to get rid of Obamacare. Because if you get, and why the people who voted for, I guess, President Trump, and to get rid of everything Obama created, had a change of heart, because they realized, if I get my Obamacare cut, I'm going to be dead. You know. So you start seeing this American dream that's dying, because the American dream from generation to generation is on decline. You know, it seems less and less attainable, less and less affordable, less and less normal. You know, too many. The college loan debt is too high. The lack of skills are too high. The ingenuity to create a new industry is diminishing. The overeducation of a lot of generation with little to know to nothing to know, but little to show for it as far as industry, because we're trying to go from a we basically went from an agricultural age to an industrial age to a technological age, and in the technological age, you get away from human labor. So this country was built on human labor, whether it's in-house or outsourced. So when you change the dynamic, you change the American dream. This is why people are looking at other countries and continents and in places, because they're realizing, you know, the American dream is in global pockets that may be even in third world countries, because that's the only place you can be industrious, and you can bring your I'm an American swagger to another place and get treated better than you would in America, and probably reap the benefits better than the people who are native to whatever place you go to. So this is what I think is happening to the American dream. I'm going to leave it alone for now. Get back to you on another one. Peace.